this internet does. Okay, there we go. So, hey, it is yours truly, Dr. Shamika Dean, your favorite marketing solutionist. Come on in as you are tuning in. Share where you are tuning in from. Just comment, let me know where you're tuning in from so that I can say hello. If you're new to me, welcome. If you are a replay watcher, welcome back. Thank you so much for your continued support. Um, I am, again, your favorite marketing solutionist, and I help service based entrepreneurs to automate up to 90% of their marketing and sales so that they only have to work 10% of the time. That's the kind of life I'm about. Okay. And so I'm excited to jump on here with you all today. First and foremost, I want to remind you all that I just got off the call with my team for our event. We're doing the final little touches for our event, Market Like a Mogul, which is next Wednesday. Our meet and greet is next Wednesday, but the last day to register is tomorrow by midnight. So I want to make sure that you all remember to go ahead and secure your spot. Marketlikeamogul.live.com 3-day event where we're going to be teaching you how to shift from 6 figures a year to 6-figure launches. We're going to be sharing our cash before creation methodology, where we teach you how to make sure you're not wasting time building something that nobody's going to pay you for. And I have some amazing speakers, some amazing guests. We have an amazing host, all of the things. So we're going to have an amazing time, 3 full days for only $497. So again, just go to marketlikeamogullive.com and get your ticket. Hey, Miss Gwen Inspirations. Hey, Jamie. Hello, Miss ESJ. Shafara over here. Dr. Monique or Monica Monique. Hello, hello, hello. So listen, I want to talk to you all today a little bit about, what mindset shifts you need to make to have 6-figure launches, 6-figure quarter, 6-figure month. I've had all of those. So I want to talk to you all today about what mindset shifts you need to make it happen. So if somebody type this in the comment for me in the chat box or the comment section, it's all mindset. Okay, it's all mindset. So somebody please put that in the chat box or in the comment section. It's all mindset. And so while we share with you all so many strategies and different things like that, I do want you to understand. Hey, Kanesia, I do want you to understand that yes, you have to implement strategies. I'm not saying you can get out here, wing it to win it. I'm not saying you can do what we call the PAP, the post and pray, because that's not a real marketing strategy. Not talking about that. There is strategy that you have to implement. But what I want to share with you first, again, is that it's all mindset, right? It starts and ends there. So if your business is not growing, if you're stuck at a certain income bracket in your business, it's likely because the growth has been hindered because you have stopped growing here. Okay, you've stopped growing here. And so I want to talk to you about some of the mindset shifts that I personally had to make. And the reason is because a lot of times, we see people where they are and we forget that they also had to go on a journey to get where they are, right? And so I want to personally share my some of the mindset shifts I personally had to make. Okay, so that I can have that 6-figure month, 6-figure launches, 6-figure quarters, and all of the good stuff. All right. So if y'all are ready, type ready in the comment section, and we're going to go ahead and get started here. Hello, Barb. Hey, Tina. Hey, Miss SJ, Pamela. Yeah, because it's all mindset, right? And so a lot of people want to skip the mindset and they want to get straight to the money, right? But the money is mindset. That's how so many people get it, because they get it here first. Okay. So one of the things that I had to do was I had to shift, okay, from deserve to desire. That was one of the shifts I had to make. So for so many years and for so long, I really truly did not believe that I deserved to make that amount of money, right? So what happened was every single time I had an opportunity to up level my business and make more money, I would self-sabotage because I felt like I had to deserve it. And this is why you see a lot of people that they work real hard and they subscribe to the hustle hustle till it hurts mentality, the grind mentality, because, hey, Ayana, because they have convinced themselves that unless they work until it hurts, that they don't deserve it. Now, let's talk about what that's rooted in, okay? When you have been deemed as the strong one, how many of my strong friends do I have on here today? Because I'm gonna talk to y'all a little bit. I'm gonna teach y'all, and then I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna take you somewhere, okay? How many strong friends do I have on here? Just put a one in the comments if that's you. You know, you're always the one that people lean on. You're always the one that people call on for help when they're hurting, but you're the last one that people check on because they really feel like you don't need any help. They feel like you already got it, right? Okay. So again, you're the strong one. You have to be strong for everybody all the time, right? So what this mentality does, this is how this shows up in business and why you work so hard and you work to try to earn everything and feel like you have to deserve it. Why? Because when you are positioned as the strong one, and this often happens if you're the oldest sibling, you're the strong one, you're the one that everybody depends on. And so what happens is you create such a high tolerance level for pain unless it costs you something, you don't feel like you deserve it. Y'all get that? Right? Because that's what happens. The strong person is always the person that has to work so hard. They have to take so much. They have to carry so much, right? And so you build up this tolerance level, this high tolerance level, right, for pain. And so if it doesn't cost you something, you feel like you don't deserve it. So even though it's supposed to be done with ease, and you're supposed to be able, not saying that you don't work or you don't put in work, but there is an ease when you do things God's way. So if you don't feel like you deserve it because it didn't cost you anything, because that's what your mind is telling you, oh, it didn't cost you enough. No, you gotta deserve this. You have to earn this, right? And so if it didn't cost you enough, then what happens is you'll continue to self-sabotage. And a lot of the things that when it comes to building our business and making the money, when we really want to see acceleration in our lives, all we have to do is really get into alignment. But we want to earn everything, which again brings us back to that deserve level. So what I had to do was I had to shift from deserve to desire, right? I had to shift and understand that God gives me what to desire, right? First. And then he gives me what I desire. And he desires for me to have these things that's necessary for me to fulfill my purpose in the earth, right? And so is VIP available? Nicole, are you talking about for the event? In Are you talking about for the event? VIP, we had one person that may not be able to attend. Um, So if you want to register for the VIP, it is $797 because we had one person that was not able to keep their spot. And so, yes, if you want to do that, let me know and I'll send you a direct link for that. Hey, Tamasha. So let me get back to what I was saying. So, again, he wants me to have these things because this aligns with the purpose that I'm called to fulfill, right? Thank you, Tamasha. So what I understand is I already know my purpose. And so I know that it takes income and it takes money for me to fulfill my purpose. You understand what I'm saying? So because it takes money for me to fulfill my purpose, then God gave me the desire to make more money, right? But if I felt like I had to earn it and deserve it, then I would continue to dismiss it because again, it's not costing me enough. Are y'all still tracking? Y'all still with me? I want to make sure I'm not losing anybody. Not saying anybody's incompetent or anything, but I got a little sidetracked. So I want to make sure that y'all are still with me. Okay, before I keep talking. I know it's a little bit of a delay. Okay, good. Right. So again, I had to shift from deserve to desire. I had to shift and understand that this is not just something that I want because I want it. This is something that because I said, God, I'm delighting myself in you. I'm surrendering my will for yours, right? My will for your way, right? I'm surrendering my plan for your promise. So he puts these desires in me so that it can align with what he already predestined for me. Okay. And so now, because I'm in alignment with what he wants and what he's already predestined, what he's already promised, guess what? He's going to give me what to desire and then what I desire, right? Because now I'm in alignment. So again, I had to shift from deserve to desire. All right. So that was one of the mindset shifts that I had to make. The other mindset shift that I had to make, because I'm gonna talk to y'all about this whole strong woman thing. I'm gonna talk to y'all about it because it's hurting you more than it's helping you. So the other mindset shift that I had to make was that I can do it all by myself, or that nobody can do it better than I can. How many of y'all, you'll tell your child to go in there and clean up the kitchen, right? And they don't clean it the way that you do. So you'll say, don't worry about it. I'll just do it myself. Because you convinced yourself that nobody can do a better job than you can. And so when it's time for you to actually grow, because here's the thing, for me to shift the way that I shifted, I needed help. I was trying to do all the things by myself because I initially took a lot of pride in, yes, girl, I did this. Did nobody put me on? I did this by myself. Can't nobody take the credit for what I've done or what God has done. And we can even tell ourselves that, well, God is doing it in a way that nobody else can get the credit for what he did. No, no, that's not it. What it is that you are so used to being let down. You've been let down in the past, right? And so to prevent yourself from experiencing that same disappointment again, you condition it to where you are the only one that can do it because you're not willing to teach anybody else or allow anybody else to help you. Yeah. So I had to shift from that. I had to shift from the don't worry about it. I can do it all by myself, or I will do it all by myself. I had to shift from that mindset as well. Okay. Because again, it hurts you more than it helps you. And so one of the things that I often say is that anytime God gives you a vision, it's always bigger than you. It requires two things, him and help. Somebody put that in the chat box, him and help, right? And we'll continue to say, no, because they're just not going to do it the way that I do it. No, there are people that can actually do it a lot better than you can. I'm trying to tell you. But again, you're trying to position yourself to where you don't need help. And you're trying to position and create a vision that fits only in your hands so that you feel like you don't need any help. But what you don't realize is that any vision, I'm going to help y'all in a minute. Any vision that you can handle by yourself and hold within your own hands that doesn't require anyone else to be a part of that vision, that's not the vision God has for you. That's what you call man-made. Y'all a little quiet. Y'all a little quiet. You're a little quiet. Okay. So again, you have any vision that you can hold within your own hands that doesn't require anyone else to help you is not a vision that God gave you. Because God is never going to give you something that doesn't require him or help. Okay. So I had to shift from that. I had to shift from the I don't need no help. I can do it all by myself. I had to shift from that. Okay. The other part about the help is that I had to write the vision from excuse me, from where I was going and not where I currently was, right? This is something that that keeps a lot of us stuck. We invest based on where we are and not where we're going. So when I started making investments in my business, I didn't look at my bank account and wonder what I could afford. I didn't look at my bank account and said, I didn't look at my bank account and say, I'm gonna see what I can afford or who I can afford to hire or what coach I can afford to invest in. No, I found the coach first. I found the mentor first. And then I found out what their investment was, and I did what I needed to do to make the investment. Because here's what happens when you start operating from where you're going and not where you are, you literally open, you then give God's permission, his power. You open up the opportunity for him to send you all of the resources that are necessary and needed for you to invest and do what you need to do. I saw a post earlier today, and she talked about how God is not about to rain down manna from heaven anymore. So a lot of the stuff that we're praying for are going to come through people, men, tours, coaches, strategists, tools, software, resources, right? So again, I did not invest. I don't invest based on what's in my bank account. I invest based on where I want to go. So even now, both of the coaches that I have are already multimillionaires. And they've been there. They've been that for years. So they're 8-figure earners, not 7, but they're 8-figure earners, right? And on their way to 9 figures. So I didn't go and invest in just where I was. I went and invested in where I wanted to go and where I wanted to grow. Now, let me talk to you about these coaches. When I invest in a coach, I don't invest in a coach just based on the amount of money that they say they make. That's another thing, because that's a mindset shift, right? Because one thing I understand about investing in a coach is when I find myself being pulled into a particular coach, I always ask myself, what is it about them that's attracting me to them? I always ask myself that. What is it about them that's attracting me to them? Right? So I'm listening to the language. No, I don't believe in intuition. I believe in instruction from God, not intuition. I don't rely on my intuition. I believe in instruction from God, uh, and I hear and take heed to how Holy Spirit is leading me, not intuition. Um, but when I'm looking at the coach, I'm looking at, number one, the lifestyle that they're using, the lifestyle that they're living. And I'm not just talking about the lifestyle as in, again, the amount of money that they're making or that they say they help their clients make, because there are a lot of clients or coaches out here that have made a lot of money and they've helped clients make a lot of money. So when I'm looking at the lifestyle that they're living. Does their lifestyle align with the lifestyle I want to live? As it pertains to how they're building their business, right? So I know off top, if a coach is talking about you can't get no rest, you got to want it, no days off, or team no sleep, or team hustle, hustle and grind, or that's not the coach for me, because I don't believe that you have to sacrifice yourself for success. I do believe that you have to put in work, but I don't believe in not resting, because my motto is rest is the new revenue. So I don't believe in that. So I'm not going to invest in the coach, even if they do have a proven strategy to get the results that I'm looking for. I'm not investing in a coach that does not honor marriage, because I'm married and I don't want to lose my marriage trying to make no money, because I almost did it. Been there, done that. So if a coach is not, they don't honor marriage, that's not the coach for me. I don't care how much money they're making. Okay. I don't. So when I look for coaches, I look for things like that. I look for the lifestyle. I look at the language they're using. If the language they use is very demeaning, degrading, if they're tearing other people down, if they're looking down their nose at a person because of what's in their bank account, if they feel superior just because they make more money, that's not the coach for me. Okay. If there's that's not the coach for me, because I don't believe that people should be honored based on the amount of money in their bank account. So that's not the coach for me. If I see a coach that's bashing their clients online because they had a dispute or issue with their client, and they're online and they're exposing this client's information and talking crazy about the client, because the client disagreed with them or whatever situation happened in private, that's not the coach for me. Because that to me, that just doesn't speak to the type of character that I want to be connected to. Why? Because what you connect to determines what you give birth to. So that's not the coach for me. Right? If I see a coach and maybe they're making multi-millions, maybe they're making 8, 9 figures, cool. Maybe their clients have already done record-breaking numbers, cool. However, if they are telling me that I need to put my kids on the back burner to make money, that's not the coach for me, because it doesn't align with my values. It doesn't align with the lifestyle that I want to live. So again, I had to make these mindset shifts. So when I used to hire coaches that that only had the monetary results. That's what I used to do. But as I grew and evolved and I matured, I shift, because I look again, my values change. So I'm looking for a coach that's in alignment. I'm looking for a coach that, yes, what you connect to is what you give birth to. So I'm looking for a coach that is not just spiritual, right? And listen, whatever works for you, like the old folks say, whatever floats your boat, that's your thing. But I'm looking for a coach that believes in the Trinity, the God, the Father, and the Holy Spirit. And I want a coach that can see beyond my now. I want a coach that doesn't see me as just another transaction. I want a coach that wants me to win as much as they're winning. As I want a coach that's not going to be intimidated by my growth or my success. So when I look at coaches, I look at how they respond to their clients, how they responded to clients who are doing better than them. I look at all of those things, because when it all boils down to it, as I said, what you connect to determines what you give birth to. Okay. All right. The other mindset shift that I had to make to get to this point is that I had to no longer allow myself to be intimidated by anybody's success or the amount of money they had in their bank account. I had to make that mindset shift, because a lot of times what happens is, if you become intimidated by a person, you won't be able to receive from them. Okay? If you're intimidated by them because of what's in their bank account, and you minimize your own self and your own value because of the money that they make, you will never be able to really learn from them. Right. So I had to shift how I saw things. I had to change my perspective. So I had to understand that anytime God allows me to be connected to or in close proximity to someone who's making the amount of money or having the type of success that I want to have, is he's giving me a glimpse of my future. Because here's what I believe. God always exposes you to where he's expanding you. Right. So if he's allowing me to get up close and personal, he's giving me a glimpse of what he's doing, for what he's done for me, not doing, because everything has already been done. But he's showing me this is the next step. This is the next level of your life. Right. So you can't allow intimidation to set in. You can't sit in rooms and feel like you don't belong. That's another mindset shift I had to make. Every room that God allows me to walk into, I belong in that room. I don't care how much money they make. I don't care how long they've been doing what they've been doing. I could have just started in entrepreneurship yesterday. But if God's opened the door for me to be in that room, I belong in that room. I'm supposed to be in that room. And so I'm not inferior or intimidated or any of those things. This is only an indication of what is mine. That's it. So I had to make that mindset shift. I had to get out of the mindset shift of, being intimidated, so much so that I looked down on myself and I started to think all of these things about what I didn't have and what I, not qualified for. And oh my God, I don't deserve to be in this room. Yes, I do deserve to be in this room. Yes, I do, because God opened the door for me to sit here. Oh, I'm not like them. Oh, I don't have what they have. Oh, yes, I do. They're just the tangible result that I needed to see up close and personal. Because sometimes our faith is not increased by the things that we don't see. So God allows us a tangible representation so that it will increase our faith. So I no longer go in rooms like I don't belong there. And it has nothing to do with not being humble. It literally has to do with me understanding my identity and what has already been promised to me. So when I go in there, these are my colleagues. And yes, I can learn from each of them, because I think that we put so many people, we use this hierarchy, and we don't understand that we're all helpers one to another. So although they may have more money right now, there's still something that I have on my life um, that they also need from me. And we're just going to be doing an exchange, because there's something in me, there's something on me, there are gifts, skills, and talents that I have that they don't have. Now we're just in exchange one to another. So I had to shift again from, oh my God, I don't deserve to be in this room. Because what we do is, when we say we don't deserve something, we actually push away what we desire. When we constantly tell ourselves we don't deserve it, we push away what we truly desire. And so what we do is we think that by saying, oh my God, I don't deserve to be in this room with all of these great people, you know, um, when we think that's humility, and it's not. It's not. It's not humility. It's not at all. Hey, Ty. So, I had to shift from those things and really say, he put me here. He tells me everywhere I go, everywhere my feet shall tread, right? He'll give me dominion. So I'm supposed to be in this room just like everyone else is supposed to be in this room. Right? And so, yes, it's fear, but we're quick to call things humility that really is really fear. It just sounds good to say it's humility, but it's really just fear. Because fear has a lot of different languages to describe it and masquerade it. But when you peel back the layers, it's all the same things. It's just fear. Okay. So again, that's another shift, another mindset shift that I had to make. And I was thankful that I had to make that shift. The other thing that I had, another mindset shift that I had to make, and I have never shared this publicly, but I'm going to share this today. Another mindset shift that I had to make was that only poor people borrow money. And so I remember when I made my first investment in my well, it wasn't my first investment, but it was an investment into another coach. And I'll never forget, it was $997. No, was it 99? Yeah, it was $997. And so at that particular time, PayPal was offering it was like the pay now, pay later something. And I said, you know what? I said, God, I didn't, because remember I told you, I said, I don't invest. I don't look in my bank account and invest to see what I can afford, right? I go and I invest in I go and I see what I need to invest. And then I allow God to send the resources however he sends them. And so I'll never forget, there was like a deadline to register at that rate. And then it was going to go up, I think, to like $14.97. And so PayPal had this payment plan thing. And I said, well, I don't really want to, borrow people's money. Like that's what poor people do. Right. And so there was this pride. I told y'all pride will paralyze your profit. And so anywho, I said, you know what, God, I said, if I get approved, right, I said, I'll invest. Okay. Lo and behold, y'all, I got approved right before the deadline, was able to invest. I invested that $997 and made $30,000 in 20 something days. It may have been 30, it was a little bit over 30 days later. I invested that $997 and made over $30,000 in a little bit over 30 days. And that's when I had this understanding, this revelation. I say, wealthy people, if you think about it, wealthy people don't use their own money. They keep their personal money for cash flow. They use other people's money to grow their business. That's why they have investors, stakeholders, because they use other people's money to make money. Here's why, because they understand that it's not a debt, right? A debt is when you spend money that you can't make a return on. An investment is when you invest some money and there's going to be some kind of return on the investment. So a debt is something like when you go buy a $3,000 purse. A debt is when you go and you buy a big screen TV. It can't pay your bills. You can't live in it, right? But when you take other people's money and invest it and get a return, that's a wealth mentality, because you should never be using your own money. But see, what happens is we don't want to owe nobody nothing. Or you may have had some poor money management skills in the past. You may have messed up with the credit card one time. So anytime I have an opportunity to use other people's money to grow my money, I'm going to do it, because I'm going to get the return. But I didn't have to put it up front out of my own pocket. I didn't have to take out of my own household. I didn't have to take out of, my business account to do it. But again, pride was like, that's what poor people do. They don't have any money. They can't make any money. So they always have to borrow. I was like, no, I didn't borrow. It was an investment. They invested. They funded my business for me. They funded my business for me to invest $997 and then turn around and make a $30,000 return. I was able to pay that little $997 off so quickly before the interest even added, because they gave me 6 months to pay it back. Right? So that was another mindset shift that I had to make. Y'all probably didn't expect that, did you? Yeah, but I had to make that mindset shift. And that's it. I think that's all I want to cover with y'all today. I've been on here about 30 good minutes. Share with me real quick what your biggest takeaway was from what I've covered so far. Which one of the mindset shifts that really resonated with you that you're now going to make for yourself, right? Oh, let me share this one. This last one. I had to shift from, well, if it's God's will, it'll happen. If it's God's will, it'll happen. If it's meant for me, it will be. Because I use that as an excuse to operate in fear when opportunities came for me to invest in myself, or me to make the next step or make the next move. I had to shift from that, because opportunities don't come a dime a dozen. And yes, you can miss the season if you allow fear to be your ruler. Because when you pray and God presents, and then you don't make a move, that has absolutely nothing to do with what God has for me is for me. Nothing. What that means is that you prayed, God presented, you allowed fear to come in, and you didn't make the move. Now you got to wait, and you don't know how long it's going to be before another opportunity is presented, because he can't trust you to make a move when he presents the opportunities to you. Okay. So this is why when we offer an opportunity for you to come to our events or enroll in our programs, and I said this, Market Like a Mogul, the takeover is next week in June, but you only have until tomorrow to register. You didn't get on this video by happenstance. You didn't just tune in because I was talking about six-figure months. You tuned in because you needed the final sign that yes, you need to be at that event. And if you're here for the first time, you were already asking for it. You were praying, what do I need to do? What's my next move? Now the opportunity has been presented to you. And so you need to seize the opportunity. right? So again, marketlikeamogullive.com, or if you're on Instagram, just go to the link in my bio. If you're over here on YouTube or Facebook, just click this. The link is in the caption of the video, and it is also in the comment section. Hey, Crystal. So let's see here. Dr. Monica says that the biggest one, the mindset shift that I talked about that resonated with her the most, is deserve versus desire. And then Cynthia says, when you said about making the dedication to the thing, then allowing God to manifest the money for the opportunity to invest in yourself. That's my number one takeaway from the mindset for a six-figure month. Yes, absolutely. I don't ever invest based on what's in my bank account. I don't make any decisions based on what's in my bank account. I make decisions based on if it's an alignment with what God has said, and if it is the answer to what I have been praying for. The rest of it is up to God. He's gonna, whatever resources I need, and sometimes he wants us to make the decision so that he can increase what we decide to invest, right? And one thing about it is I will always bet on myself. So when it comes to, because I know I'm going to do the work. I know I'm going to do the work. There's no doubt in my mind. Don't give me, if you give me an opportunity, I'm going to maximize it every single time. So anyone else, what was your biggest takeaway from what I've shared today about the mindset shifts? Anna says, love this mindset shift topic. Anna Moultrie says, now that's a great one. Tashana is going to be joining us at Market Like a Mogul. She has already got her ticket and all of that, so she'll be there with us. God's true desire. Tashana says, God, true desires are now my desires. I love that. Peach Tucker says, we be scared to invest. And do. She says he exposes you to where he's expanding you. Yep, he sure does. Cynthia says also that will be, oh, the what will be crap. That's what I say. So if it failed, I could fall back on, oh, well, must not been meant for me anyway. Yes, don't we do that? Don't we do it? We will pray for something, gotta present it, and then we don't move like we're supposed to move or when we're supposed to move. And then when it falls through, we'll say, well, it must wasn't meant for me. I thank God for divine protection. No, you just need to be honest and say that you were afraid. Miss SJ says God always exposes you to what he's expanding you to. That was her biggest takeaway. Yes, he does. So anytime you see yourself in a room of people, or he's showing you and taking you, to places that you've never been, never dreamed of, right? He just wants to let you know, he's like, this is yours. This is yours. It's yours. And the other thing, let me share this one too. Whenever I feel fear, I started thanking God for what I had, for letting me know that what I had been praying for is ready for me to receive. Because that's how I see fear now. When fear presents itself, it's evidence to me that what I have been praying for is ready for me to receive. Because it's causing me to have to do something that's uncomfortable, something that I've never done before. It's scary to make a move because of the stories that you're telling yourself. When it's scary to make a move because you're thinking about the last time that something didn't go the way that you thought it was going to go. That's why it's scary. But it's supposed to be scary because it's bigger than you. It's supposed to be scary. If it doesn't scare you, it means the dream is not big enough. If it doesn't scare you, it means it's not calling you out of your comfort zone. Because that's what fear is about. Fear lets you know that you're too comfortable. That's what it does. It lets you know that you're comfortable. I started thanking God. Yeah, it lets you know that you're comfortable. And Miss GW Inspiration says, asks others to invest in your vision. Asia says, I came late, but when I came in, you stated what you connect to is what you give birth to. It was confirmation. I let go of family members because of this. They expect me to be stagnant and mediocre. And sometimes in family, we have to be the first one to go so that they will believe that things are possible for them. And so we're proof of possibility, right? We're proof of possibility. Um, Nicole says not operating in intimidation, having a sense of belonging was her biggest mindset shift. Well, was the mindset shift I shared that was the most impactful or that resonated with her the most. Yes, absolutely. Not operating in intimidation. That's just an indication of what's yours. Like that's the tangible proof. Like this is mine. This is possible. Yeah. All right, y'all. Oh, Gwen. Okay. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Again, tomorrow is the absolute last day to register for Market Like a Mogul Live, the 3-day experience for service-based entrepreneurs to shift from 6 figures a year to 6-figure launches, where you'll learn how to cash in our cash before creation methodology, showing you what you would need to do to cash in before you actually create your product so that you're not wasting time failing or flopping. We're also going to have be sharing our 90-10 formula, which is our automation strategy, that what you would need to have in place to automate up to 90% of your marketing and sales so that you only have to work 10% of the time. And so that's going to help you to shift, from 40-hour weeks to 15 hours a month with client work, and still meeting your goals. And so if you need to be in the room, if you don't have a signature program, fine. You definitely should have one. You need to be there in the room. Um, if you're not tech savvy, cool. We teach you the kind of tech setup that's so easy, an 8th grader can do it. Uh, if you already have a signature program, but you haven't made 6 figures and you haven't had a 6-figure launch, it's all the more reason you need to be in the room, because that tells me that you're working too hard, or that you don't have the right messaging. You're not aligned. You don't have an aligned audience. And so those things tell me that you need to be in the room. The other reason that you want to be in the room is because the rooms that you sit in are a reflection of the revenue that you'll receive. So I believe in the power, you being connected to the right people. It all matters. And like I said earlier, what you connect to determines what you give birth to. Hey, Miss Erin. Um, I cannot pronounce that. I don't want to butcher it. So again, you know, you want to make sure that you get in the room with the right people, get connected to the right people, get access to the right tools. I said this the other day on my lives. A lot of times we think that God is just going to perform a miracle in our lives and speed up the process of our results. But here's the thing. It's not that. Oftentimes when we say things like what God can do in your life in 5 months, what it normally would take, 5 years to do. Yeah, he will. But you know what that means? Um, he's not always going to perform a miracle. It means that it's going to happen through mentors and money. That means you investing in mentors, you putting your money in things that are going to get a return, right? Like Jay Marie says, stop spending money on things that will not bring me a return. Yes. You said Sakai. Ooh, oh, I'm sorry. I charged my head, not my heart. I'm sure I still butchered it. um, but thank you for helping me out, trying to help me out. Um, but yeah, we think that he's just going to do all these miraculous things, or like someone said earlier, he's going to rain down manna from heaven. No, he needs you to put your money into something that's going to get a return, an investment. Because one of my brand managers said this the other day, Harvey Lincoln. He said coaches are the cheat code. That's what he said. That, and I said, you know what? I love that. He said coaches are the cheat code. Hey, Aisha, because they've already traveled the road. They've already been where you desire. They are where you desire to be, right? They can see far ahead of where you are, and tell you, don't go this way because you're going to make a mistake. Don't do that, right? And so my coach, she says you can't see the label inside of the jar. And so a lot of times the reason you're stuck is because you're trying to see it, you're trying to do it, but you just don't know what you don't know. And yes, your process can be cut in half drastically. I've had clients that have done 6 figures in 6 months. I've had clients that have done millions in 60 days. 60 days. So how were they able to do it is because they invested so that they can get the shortcut, so that they could get the cheat codes. Like my clients get crazy accelerated results. And so a lot of people have asked, well, how can we work with you? The best way that you can get in the door and experience me, and experience what I do and how I do it is by registering for the event that's going to take place next week in Atlanta. That's the offer that we have right now, because all of our programs are application only, right? Because it's an exclusive community and it's application only. Why? Because we want to make sure that you are aligned. Yes, you need the cheat code. So why take 5 years when you don't have to, right? Like, why make it hard when you can just get the help? Because it's going to cost you more and take you longer to try to do it on your own. I've literally heard people say, I wouldn't even invest in that because you can just go to Google and learn that. And I always say, if that were the case, then why is everyone already not where they want to be? Because if you try to go here and there, picking up pieces and trying to piece them together is not going to give you the same results. It's just like looking at a photo of a cake that you found on Google and say, "Ooh, I'm going to remake that." But you have no idea what ingredients, how long to put it in the oven, how much sugar, how much eggs, how much water. And yes, you could probably try to figure it out. You don't know what tools they use, what pan they use. You don't know any of those things. And so, yes, you can try to figure it out on your own, but you're going to make a whole lot of mistakes, waste a whole lot of money before you can actually get it like that when all you had to do was invest in them for them to give you the recipe. It's just that simple. I'm where I am because of all the coaches that I've invested in. I'm where I am because I'm not afraid to invest. I'm where I am because I don't want to take 5 years to get where I want to be. I didn't want to, so I decided to do something differently. And that's what you are going to have to make that decision. You're going to have to allow your desire to carry more weight than your doubt. Oh, that was good. Man, that was good. You're going to have to make sure that your desire carries more weight than your doubt. Well, what if it don't work? Here's the thing. Will you do the work? Because it works. They're proof that it works. Their clients are proof that it works. But you have to decide to do it differently. You have to say, you know what? My desire is going to carry more weight than this doubt. What if it doesn't work? What if it does? Like, seriously, seriously, right? So make that decision. Join us. When you join, you'll get a bring a friend ticket for a discount. And you'll be able to bring someone with you. You know, I always say, hey, bring more friends. You have more fun like that. Do what you need to do to get there. If you have to room with somebody, once you get into the community, you can ask somebody, hey, listen, anybody want to share a room, split the cost? Do what you have to do to get there. Because your life is going to be changed within about an hour and a half of you being in the event. I believe that. I know that to be true. Okay. So again, marketlikeamogul.live.com or go to my website, shamikadean.com. Make sure you spell my name right. Shamika. SHAMIEKADEAN.com, or you can just go to, again, Market Like a Mogul, MOGULLIVE, because some people thought I was saying mobile, like MOBILE, but no, it's MOGUL, Mogul, MOGUL. Hey, Jasmine. Oh, Aisha, I literally just looked at your picture and realized which Aisha that was. Hey, how's my children? How are my children doing? Tell them I said hello and that you've been keeping them from me. Oh my goodness. All right. Any questions? Any questions? Y'all have any questions on what I've covered? Any questions about the event? If no, just type no. I won't be offended. That means that I've done an excellent job at teaching. I am a teacher. And even if you say they're good, good. I'm glad they're great. I'm glad they're great. And even if you just happen to say, you know, yes, I do have a question, still doesn't mean I'm not a good teacher. It just means that you had another question. But yeah, just type yes and no so that I'll know, so I can wrap it up. So I'm not just sitting on here. Yeah, I'll leave it up. This is great. She says, no, you've covered it all. We appreciate you. Teresa says, can I watch it again? I'm sorry I'm late. Nicole said, this has been very informative. And Asia says, excellent. All right, no questions. All right. I love y'all immensely and intensely. I want to see you all there. She said it was great and informative. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I'll talk to y'all later then. Enjoy your night. I'm going to get me a little something to eat and I'm going to go to bed. Okay. I love y'all. For real, for real.